Hey buddy, have you ever felt that sinking feeling in your gut when you check your bank account and realize your money's just sitting there while the financial world spins like a Las Vegas casino? I get it. You want to invest. You dream of doubling your cash fast, but the fear of losing it all stops you dead in your tracks. Today, I'm going to tell you the story of someone just like you, a regular guy with a regular job who stumbled upon the 5 explosive investments that changed his life. Based on the title, Top 5 Explosive Investments to Double Your Money Fast, Exclusive Beginner's Guide, this 25-minute journey will pull you in, make you feel the weight of financial choices, and spark the hope of turning $100 into $1,000, maybe even $1 million. No empty promises here, just a raw story with practical strategies any American can start today. Stick with me, because what's coming could change everything. It was 2019 in Chicago. Jake, 27 years old, lived in a cramped apartment, splitting rent with a college buddy. He worked as a junior marketing assistant, pulling in $45,000 a year, but after taxes, rent, and a financed car, there was barely anything left. Maybe $2,500 in savings, if he was lucky. Jake would scroll through Instagram, seeing influencers in private jets, and think, how do these guys do it? I can hardly pay my bills. He wanted more. Not just money, freedom. The dream of waking up without a boss yelling, without the fear of living paycheck to paycheck, but he had no clue where to start. One night, eating cold pizza on the couch, Jake opened YouTube. A video caught his eye. Millionaire's Mentor, the crypto secret they don't want you to know. He clicked, half skeptical, but the guy's voice was confident, almost hypnotic. Invest in crypto now, or you'll regret it forever. Jake felt a chill run down his spine. He spent hours researching Bitcoin, Tesla stocks, side hustles, but fear held him back. What if it's a scam? What if I lose everything I've got? He was frozen, like most of us are when money's on the line. Then, the trigger hit. In his iMessage group with friends, one guy posted, just made $8,000 on GameStop. It was the 2020 meme stock frenzy. Jake's heart raced. GameStop? That random stock. Driven by adrenaline, he opened the Robinhood app and threw $2,000, almost his entire savings, into GameStop shares. No plan, no research, just pure hype. At first it worked. The stock jumped 25% in 2 days. Jake pictured a new house, trips to Miami, maybe even quitting his job. But within a week the market flipped. GameStop crashed. Jake lost $900. He stared at his phone, the screen showing his loss, and the silence of his apartment felt like a scream. You're a failure. But Jake wasn't one to give up. He stayed up nights, binging videos, books, podcasts. He read The Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham, and one line stuck with him. The stock market is a device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient. Jake realized the problem wasn't investing, it was investing without knowing what he was doing. He decided to learn for real, and that's when he found the 5 investments that would change everything. Today, I'm sharing them with you, step by step, so you don't make his mistakes and start the right way. First, Jake went for something simple and safe. Index ETFs, like the S&P 500. It's like buying a slice of all the biggest US companies, Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, in one go. He opened an account with Vanguard and put $500 into an ETF like VOO. Why? Because, as Warren Buffett said, if you don't know where to start, just buy the whole market. Over 2 years, with $200 monthly contributions, he saw 12% annualized returns. It's not glamorous, but it's steady, and the risk is low. Jake started to feel his money grow, like a snowball rolling down a hill. Next, he wanted passive income, money hitting his account without lifting a finger. He discovered REITs, real estate investment trusts. They're like collecting rent without owning a house. Jake invested $1,000 in a REIT focused on logistics warehouses, paying 7% annual dividends. Every month, $70 landed in his account. It wasn't a fortune, but it was real. Money he didn't have to work for. He pictured that deposit hitting while he slept, and it made him smile. The third investment was dividend stocks. Jake researched rock-solid companies like Coca-Cola and AT&T, which pay dividends like clockwork. He put money $500 into a telecom stock with a 5% dividend yield. In a year, he got $75, which he reinvested to buy more shares. It was like planting a seed and watching it grow month after month. He started to grasp the power of compound interest. It wasn't just money, it was a system working for him. Then Jake revisited crypto, but this time with a plan. After the GameStop disaster, he knew hype was a trap. He allocated just 10% of his portfolio, $500, to Bitcoin and Ethereum, buying during dips. He used a strategy called dollar cost averaging, putting in $100 a month no matter the price. In 2021, when Bitcoin surged 50%, his $500 turned into $1,100. It wasn't an overnight millionaire story, but it was real profit, earned through patience. Finally, Jake wanted an anchor, something to let him sleep at night. He found Treasury Bills, US government-backed bonds. They're like a supercharged savings account, 100% safe. He invested $1,000 in a short-term T-bill, yielding 4% in 2023. It wasn't the biggest return, but it was his rock-solid base. When the market shook, Jake knew that money was safe. But the story doesn't end there. In 2022, the market turned into a nightmare. The stock market dropped 18%, Bitcoin crashed 30%, and headlines screamed, "Recession is coming." Jake watched his portfolio shrink by $2,500. His stomach churned. At work, his boss warned that layoffs were looming. Jake thought about selling everything, running to the bank and hiding his cash under the mattress. But then he remembered a quote from Peter Lynch: "Your biggest enemy in investing is yourself." He took a deep breath and decided to hold on. Instead of selling, Jake doubled down. He kept adding to his S&P 500 ETF, even as the market fell. He bought more REIT shares, reinvesting the dividends. He increased his Bitcoin position, capitalizing on the dip. Every decision was a test of courage, like walking a tightrope without a safety net. He knew crises were where the patient profit. And slowly, the market started to turn. By 2024, the S&P 500 bounced back 22%. His REITs were paying $90 a month again. Bitcoin doubled in value. Jake, who started with $5,000, now had $13,000. It wasn't a fortune, but it was nearly triple what he had 3 years ago. More importantly, he felt in control. He wasn't a slave to his boss, his bills, or his fear anymore. He was building something bigger, a future where his money worked for him. What Jake learned wasn't just about investments. It was about mindset. Doubling your money fast isn't about crazy bets. It's about consistency, patience, and strategy. These 5 investments, ETFs, REITs, dividend stocks, crypto with a plan, and T-bills, aren't Wall Street secrets. They're accessible to anyone, even if you're starting with $100. But the real secret? It's beating fear. It's taking action even when your heart's pounding. It's knowing the market isn't your enemy. Your own impulses are. Today, Jake's 33. He quit his job, lives off passive income, and is planning a road trip across the West Coast. He's not an Instagram millionaire, but he's free. And freedom's what we all want, right? You don't need $1 million to start. $100 is enough. Open an account with Fidelity, Schwab, or even Robinhood. Pick one of these investments and start with what you've got. The Jake from 2019 was just like you, a regular guy with big dreams and a fear of screwing screwing up, but he took action, he learned, he won. So, tell me, are you going to let your money rot in your account while the market mints millionaires? Or are you going to take the first step, like Jake, and turn $100 into $1,000, maybe $1 million? The choice is yours, but I'm warning you, time doesn't wait. The next crash is coming. So is the next boom. Where are you going to be? If this story hit you, it's because it was meant to reach you. Download my free beginner's guide. It's in the description, and drop a comment below. I'm starting today. I want to know who's in this with me. If you've ever taken a financial hit like Jake, or you're ready to take the next step, share this story. Someone needs to hear it. And who knows, maybe you'll be the next one to double your money. Subscribe to the channel, but only if you've got the guts to change your life.